Kazakhstan, the world's ninth largest country in the world, is home to an estimated 17 million people. Kazakhstan's economy is the largest of all the Central Asian states, most likely due to its extensive natural resources. However, nowadays, Kazakhstan is facing the trend brain drain. Why our young are losing hope and leaving? Is Kazakhstan losing its best and brightest people? To find out, we made a research.
Newly married couple, Toshan and Raushan, dream of owning a house one day, running a successful business, and having a regular good income. They have recently graduated from a university, but they cannot find work for their specialty with appropriate salary. But in March, the couple, both in their 22s, bought a one-way ticket out of Kazakhstan. They no longer believe that the country has a future, with its widening wealth gap and restrictive economic situation, making them feel disgruntled. There are reports that a new wave of residents are beginning to leave. Is Kazakhstan about to lose its best and brightest? Why it's happening?
You always feel like the government people are working for themselves, or working for the rich people. Working for the rich people betrays the Kazakhstan people. It's very hard for the young generation to afford wealthy life without concern about the future.
We earn 150,000 tenge a month. An apartment is 40 million upward. If you buy an apartment, we have to pay for it for the half of your life.
Even like to buy a tiny room, it's quite burden for them. It's really expensive to buy an apartment in Kazakhstan. Toshan and Raushan live together in one-bedroom flat. The couple cannot afford to buy their own place and live without fear. While Almaty's per capita income has ranked high among the Kazakhstan cities, it appears that discontent is starting to cause a new wave of residents to leave, especially the young and restless. The question is whether anything can get them to stay. Immigration Consulting Program Director has something to say.
Almost a third of young Kazakh people want to immigrate abroad. According to sociological research, the main reason why Kazakh people are trying to leave the country is a low level of income. Other factors also highlight problems with employment, lack of prospects, and housing issues. At the same time, the majority of our compatriots who are ready to immigrate are aged 19 to 23 years. Some are unhappy with the economic situation, worried about the uncertainty over Kazakhstan's economical future. Some of the young complain about having to live with their parents despite their university education and thus delay marriage, so they are angry.
Mr. Doshan and his wife are one of those couples who cannot afford their own place because of low salary. They must live with his parents in a two-bedroom flat. The lack of space has also made it harder for them to start a family. Even though we have money, said Ms. Roshan, they want children, but not in Kazakhstan, not in a small home. Constricted, stifled, and confused, the couple are planning to migrate to Canada, a country they fell in love with after spending a year there on a working holiday. We did a lot of skiing, we like nature, said Toshan. But in Kazakhstan, it's all concrete, low quality of apartments and very bad air quality when you compare it to Canada, said Mr. Doshan. Former senior civil servant Zaunbek said that, with the average salary of a flat beyond the reach of a graduate, many don't see the prospect of having middle-class living or owning a flat without support from rich parents. So this, combined, of course, makes them a very unhappy generation, he added.
In the last 10 years, people of working age mostly leave the country, over 70% of those who left. There has been a change in the level of education of those who are leaving. Another 10 years ago, there were more people who had a secondary specialized or technical education among the immigrants. Now, people with higher education are on the first line. They just don't find that there is hope in this place, which is a very sad thing.
Former Almaty Chief Secretary Davlet suggests that social economic issues such as the income disparity are creating unhappiness.
According to the Kazakhstan Census and Statistics report last year, the richest 12% of households were earning 25 times more than what the poorest 20% of society was making. I believe that this wealth gap is a big issue for society, and there is concern around equality of opportunity.
The cynicism of young people is not limited to bread and butter issues. There is also a growing distrust of the government and the lack of faith in Kazakhstan's leaders to protect the city's interests. One reason the Kazakhstan government will always have difficulty governing is that as long as the country's president is not taking whole situation in control, he will lack political legality.
If you feel that it's beneficial for you to go abroad and you want to try, sure, by all means. You are still young, you can go and try, but you can always turn back as well. Still, there are those like Roshan who have pledged to stay on and dedicate their lives to making Kazakhstan a better society. A lot of people might think that it's desperate and nearly impossible to change the current situation in Kazakhstan. That's why they would like to leave. But hope can be created by people when they come together and fight for something they believe in.
I feel a little bit guilty. I still care about the future of Kazakhstan, but I feel hopeless here.
For the residents, but sometimes I feel very bad that it looks as if I'm betraying them. I'm not doing what I should be doing as a citizen in Kazakhstan, but life is like that.
I feel a little bit guilty. I still care about the future of Kazakhstan, but I feel hopeless here.